What's up guys, it's your boy Josh, welcome to a brand new FG Mods video. We all know that the prices for Ford Falcons have been steadily rising for the last year to year and a half, with some people not just making money back on Falcons they bought maybe 2 years ago, some people are even doubling their profits. And seeing this rise in prices, some entrepreneurial people have realized that there's a little bit of money to be made here, and one of those people was my friend Brendan. He found an NA Falcon on Facebook Marketplace for only $5,000. The guy that was selling it said that it had a bit of a knocking noise and he just didn't have the money to fix it. So he gives me a call and he says, hey, can you come with me to have a look at this FG and decide whether or not it's worth buying? I've offered the guy $3,000 cash to pick it up today. I said, sure. So we jumped in the car and at about 7 p.m. showed up at this guy's place. Now, one of the things we know about this car is that it goes to Saturday night skids at Brisbane. The owner tried to say he'd never done a skid in it before, but all the fresh rubber on the inside of the wheel wells kind of tells a different story, and we've seen it at skids. Maybe not that owner, but a previous one had taken it, but that wasn't important to us. What was important was that this car seemed to at one point have been somebody's project, a car someone really cared about, because it had a whole bunch of stuff done to it that if we were to take in the cost of buying the parts new and even the labor for stuff that we couldn't do ourselves, Brendan was probably going to get back more in parts than what he was willing to spend buying the car. So let me kind of just list it out here. It already had an IMS twin bush diff hat. These go for about $1,000 and are a pretty crucial upgrade if you don't want to have to replace your diff bushings every couple of thousand kilometers. And it had XYZ front and rear coilovers. That's about $1,600. External transmission cooler. I decided to kind of be generous and say, well, it's probably not a top of the line one, but it was definitely not an eBay one. So we're gonna throw that in at $330. Non-genuine V8 bonnet. Even a non-genuine one costs about $500 brand new. It had Mark II headlights in it, brand new, those are $400. And it had Super Pro control arms, and a total of about $4,200 worth of parts. So while this FG was clearly a little bit beat up and had definitely had a few trips to Mexico, it had a whole bunch of parts on it that were pretty much the value of, or even more than what Brendan was willing to pay in cash. So he said, yep. So we loaded the car on the trailer and towed it back, and all we had to do was work out whether or not it was a bearing or a rod that was causing the knocking noise, and from there Brendan could choose whether or not to just replace the whole engine, because they only cost about $500 when they're NA.
I still think it's cool to idle though. It just reminds. Oh, okay.
Hold it in front of the
Hold
light.
it in front of the light. How is it? How bad is it?
Oh.
Whoa!
That is the reason
Hang
why it's
on,
running rough.
let me see if this focuses.
And that is why it's running
roll
rough.
it over a little bit so we get. Oh, mate. That is a mess.
That's also oil.
He's done a bunch of fat skids with it, fouled all the plugs. So now, I mean, can't see it on camera. What the fuck? Is this
Yeah, so that was a catch can, zip tied in there, not hooked up to anything. So this was hooked up to the battery, and it runs round into the cab. You're gonna love these. So if you're ever sitting behind the passenger in the back seat, you know, you're doing a skid, you get your feet in underneath, you get a real nice shot.
Yeah, look, it's got a transcooler.
It's got a transcooler down in the front bar.
Yeah, I was looking at that when we rolled up yesterday.
Transcooler.
It's got a better transcooler than mine, because mine's still standard.
Yeah, standard. Yeah.
That's why mine blew up.
Risky.
Well,
This car had clearly had a bit of a hard time in life, but we still felt like it was a real diamond in the rough. It was in good enough condition that we could easily clean it up, and it wouldn't actually cost that much to fix it and get it running properly again.
Get out.
That looks cool though, actually.
No, oh my god, you think that's staying in? Also, the wiring
yeah,
for it.
we're taking it out.
We're taking it out. We're
it's
making
on
the
all the
wiring
time.
legit.
Oh, is it?
We could lower it on this and then just shove the other one underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can jack off here.
I don't want to jack off there, man. I'm all good.
You're right.
I'm all good, mate.
It's in front of cost
You
member.
can.
That's me.
He still hasn't picked up what I'm putting down. Yeah, you're not picking up what I'm putting down. I said I'd rather not jack off there.
Oh. I thought you guys love Falcons.
Not that much.
Oh yeah, it's in my car. You might set a console. Cup holder.
So with the new engine in it, Brendan decided, you know what? 5-speed no good. ZF swap time. I don't have any footage of this, so I'm just going to throw up some of my own video of ZF swapping, but the point being, he ZF swapped it. So now it had a new engine and a new gearbox. Mechanically, this thing is looking pretty good now. All that was left was to clean it up.
So, you're making your money back. There's coins. I don't know. Some free wire.
There's heaps of filters.
Bruh.
White little chalk looking things.
Yep.
Filters.
Filters everywhere.
Siggy butt brain.
Siggy butt brain. What the hell is that?
That makes me feel sick, man.
Have fun cleaning that up.
I'm trying my best. It's like caramel.
Gross. At least the orange agent gets it off. Orange agent cleans up grime better than Agent Orange cleaned up forests. There you go. Woohoo. Delicious.
That's just the front seats too.
I know, right? Oh man. It looks like the oil, it's so thick, like bad oil. It's so dirty.
That's the filter.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
And we were sitting on that.
Yep.
So once the inside of the car was clean, we then polished the outside, and Brendan had swapped the boot lid to an XT one. That way it didn't have a wing on it anymore. It had that nice, smooth, clean look. And this is basically the end result of the car. And after a fair bit of interest, Brendan managed to sell it for $10,000. That's a tidy profit. More than doubling his money, even if we take into account having spent $1,000 or $2,000 on parts and his time cleaning the car up. And the guy who bought it off Brendan obviously decided it was worth more than the $10,000 he'd spent on it, because he immediately put it up for $15,000. I'm actually surprised that it hasn't sold already, because it's already got a bunch of stuff done to it that people would probably want to do to their Falcons anyway. Don't invest in Bitcoin or shares, invest in Falcons. What do you guys reckon? Do you think the prices of Falcons are actually going to stay high? Do you think it's still going to be viable to buy some of these ones that are looking a bit sad mechanically and fixing them up and reselling them for double or even triple what you spent initially? Or do you think the prices are going to come back down again, especially as COVID starts to taper off and not have as big of an effect on the supply of cars and parts in Australia? Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.